Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Championship Leadership Podcast. And today I'm excited. We got a friend of mine, someone that I met a little over a year ago now, actually at a seminar, and we've connected and kind of stayed in touch. But she's a coach, speaker, and author. She's a female real estate mogul. She's done it all when it comes to real estate investing, developing, flipping, like you name it. There's a lot of others inside of that real estate game that she has taken on and excelled at. Her real passion is to get people to be entrepreneurs, to take that jump from where they're at to follow their purpose and become an entrepreneur. And so with that, she's got a book that's coming out here in just a few weeks. As of right now, it's February 18th of 2020. And it's called Yespreneur, Entrepreneur's Guide on How to Be Fearless, Develop a Growth Mindset, and Start Building Your Dream Life. Like I said, that's coming out in a few weeks. So watch out for that. You can follow her at Instagram at the Strategic Life CEO. Find her at Facebook at Yesenia, which is her name, Vasquez Rosa. And I will make sure that I put those up in the show links so that you can easily access those. And so I just gave it away. My guest here today, Yesenia Vasquez Rosa. And I just feel like I just totally butchered that, but that's all right. So how are you doing?
You did great. You did great. You said it very well.
Oh, good.
You even rolled the R.
What's that? Rosa.
You even rolled the R.
Yeah. I watch a lot of Dora with my kids.
There you go.
Yeah. So, well, here's the first question. This always kicks off the conversation for us is the name of the podcast is Championship Leadership. So what comes to mind for you when you hear championship leadership? Like, what does that mean to you when you hear that?
Oh my goodness. Championship leadership. That means no matter what comes your way, you have clarity on the decisions that you're making, and you got to be right on top of it. Make those decisions with clarity so that the people around you, your team, will follow and will not have any doubt in your clarity and the decision making that you're actually doing as a leader. So yeah, that is very, very important, right? To be clear and certain, and to make decisions, to stick to them, and to show your team that, hey, like there's a lot to that of sometimes when leaders maybe aren't able to make those decisive decisions, it throws some uncertainty into the rest of the team to whether or not they really know what's going on, right? Right. Yeah. Certainty. It's such a powerful word, right? Mm-hmm. But we don't really stop to think about, wow, what is certainty? How certain am I about this? How certain am I about that? And it's not just in leadership, but our daily life, what we do every day, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk a lot inside of our coaching program, the difference between confidence and certainty. And, we tend to say like confidence is for kids. Like we want our children to do their best, right? But when it comes to certainty, it's like, are you confident or are you certain that you have a right hand? Like I'm certain that I have a right hand. Like I could touch it. I could see it. It's right here. I could feel it. I'm not confident that I have a right hand. I'm certain. And so I think that's a good distinction between the two. And it's such a powerful word.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where'd you come from? Real estate mogul. How did you get to the path you're on? You're a coach, you're a speaker, you're an author, coming out with a book, your first book, speaking and wanting to really help entrepreneurs. Like, just kind of paint a picture a little bit of where you came from to get to where you are today.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Luquillo, Puerto Rico. So I'm originally from the island of Puerto Rico. And I came to the U.S. when I was about 10 and a half. And went into the military when I was 20, did 10 years in the AirForce. The AirForce showed me a lot, traveled the world, got to work with our nation's leaders in Air Force 2, vice president mission all over the world. That opened my eyes to many, many things, and that we really do live in the most abundant country, and for the most part, very safe. And we have the freedom to do and create our life, which is really very eye-opening, because some countries out there, they don't have the pleasure to make those decisions for themselves. So I did the AirForce thing. It was awesome. It's great. Traveled the world, met amazing people. Then, finished my degree in information technology, got into the world of IT, information technology. And I did the corporate world there, climbed the ladder there, worked for HP Software for many years. And then after that, there was part of me that just wanted, I've always had this entrepreneur thing in me. It's always been there. I've always said I was going to be an entrepreneur, build a business, do this, and I just never knew how or what. And I got into, I was reading some books back in 2004 on Rich Dad Poor Dad. Have you read that book?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Very interesting book.
One of the first books I read. Yeah.
Yeah, so it sparked something in me, and I started wanting to just know more about business and passive and active income, passive income, active income, the differences in real estate, and how can we create that? How can I create that? And how can I actually, because I actually come from a very humble beginning, very humble, and then what here in the U.S. we would call poor, right? And that I never forget that, right? So I've always had big dreams. I've always dreamed big, and so I started to figure out how to get into real estate. Back then, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I just ended up buying some 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom small condos in Hawaii, which was really interesting because Rich Dad Poor Dad, where did it start?
Yeah, right.
In Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where it all sparked. And since 2004 till now, I've been, real estate is an umbrella. Yeah. There's so many different aspects of it, and it's been just years of learning and years of a journey. But I started back then rehabbing small condos. Then I got into rehabbing homes, and I didn't know what I was doing. I just did it. I just did it, and it worked
perfect.
out.
That's how you start, right?
Yeah, the first rehab or the first condo, went in there, just fixed the kitchen, updated some paint, some tile, bathrooms. And before I knew it, I had $70,000 profit. So that opened up my eyes, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
That was the beginning of just creating and starting to create my life to where it is now. And anyway, started getting more into real estate, and got my master's degree in strategic organizational leadership and strategic planning. From rehabbing to new construction to commercial to multifamily to coaching to speaking, the book is coming out, and throughout the years, just my passion has grown more and more for, hey, if I can do this, someone that came from Puerto Rico, didn't speak a lick of English, didn't know what I was doing, for the first rehab to be that such success. Now, obviously, it's not common.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that's a great way to start off in the real estate world, because I know a lot of people don't have that type of experience.
It is definitely not common, but the thing is that, hey, when there's a will, there's a way, and we do live in the best country to make things happen, to be the creator of our life, So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, well, I was going to say, you said something in there, because obviously with your book and what you want to do as a coach to help entrepreneurs or to help people become entrepreneurs. You said you didn't know what you were doing, but you just jumped in. And that's what a lot of people, you know, you kind of talked about it a little bit with your book, where you're kind of, the process is dragged out a little bit because you're kind of, you know, wanting everything to be perfect. And I think that's a reason that keeps some people from becoming entrepreneurs, is because they're like, it's really just resistance to like, oh, I'm scared. Like, I don't want to put this out here. I don't want to make the jump to start my own business because of all the fear of the unknown. I know that's what held me back from becoming into real estate myself, was really just the fear of what if it doesn't work out? What if, you know, and I had actually a similar experience to you on my first property. It was an incredible deal and we made a lot of money on it as well. But, you know, before I made that decision and that jump, you know, I drug my feet for probably 5-6 years, because I read Rich Dad Poor Dad right around the same time you did. And I didn't buy my first property till like 2010. So I really kind of, like, I wanted to, but I didn't for a long time, you know? So that's something that a lot of people experience. And so it's important to talk about. Like, the only way you're really going to know is if you just kind of jump in there and do it. You don't wait till you know everything, because you're never going to know everything, especially you. I'm sure there's still things you learn every day in the real estate world, and you have way more experience than most people out there.
Oh yeah. We're not, if you're not doing, you're not learning. If you're not taking, what I like to say, I mean, calculated risk, right? Especially with real estate. But in general, you know, if you're not taking, you know, calculated risk, but taking the risk anyway, not letting that thing, that little voice, oh, don't do it. What are you doing? Oh, you don't know how to do that. I mean, you're not, you don't know, that's not going to work. You know, don't listen to that, because that is, you know, you're resisting, yet you still want to go that route, but you don't, because you have these little things in your mind. Battle of the minds is what I call it. Okay.
Yeah.
I've definitely learned that battle of the minds is kind of like, you know, you're in a championship round, and you're battling yourself, you know, punch here, punch there, you know, you're swaying this way, you're swaying to the left, you're swaying to the right, you're trying to figure this out. And then at the end of the day, oh my gosh, we made it. Yes, you know, but through that swaying is where the battle in your head, and if you allow that to knock you down and you don't get back up and keep going forward to the goal that you deserve, because you are worthy of it, yeah, and because that is where your path is taking you. That's part of being an entrepreneur, being able to realize, okay, this is one of those moments, but how do I maneuver it, and how can I get from A to B to Z to get this completed? And it's part of it's actually part of what I talk about in the book.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait to get this thing.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Uh,
What yeah, I love it. Who are some of the people, you know, you just think championship leaders, like coaches, mentors? You're a coach, you're a mentor. Who are some of the people that have impacted you along the way, whether that was in real estate or, you know, going out on your own inside of business, or to become a speaker, just in life, whatever it might be, right? Direct, indirectly impacted you, and more so than like who they are, but like, how did they impact you? Like, what were some of the characteristics or traits about them that have really stuck out to you, that have helped you the most, that maybe even you've taken on yourself as a leader and an entrepreneur and a coach to impact others?
mm-hmm. You know, that I love that question. And you know, to be truly transparent, my main model of champion, honestly, it's my mom.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's great.
It's really my mom. Like, she's always been that pom pom on the
Mm-hmm.
side, like, Jess, you can do it. You
That's
can do
awesome.
anything. Like,
Yeah.
she's always been the one, and seeing her and through her triumphs of her own like trials in her life, and her overcoming so many hard things, in her life, it's just given me more of a powerful type of character of not giving up. For me, I live by the words never give up. There's just that's not an option in anything, not just business, but relationship, friendships, relationships, spirituality. Okay, you gotta you don't give up. You don't give up on life. You don't give up on love. You don't give up on spirituality. You don't give up on, that's just not a choice, right? I think that's part of that's part of the champion leadership that we need to instill in us, and discipline ourselves to keep that alive every single day, because the battle rounds can get heavy, really heavy, definitely, and hard. Yeah. So.
There's no avoiding the battle rounds in life, right? I mean, it's like we all go through them. We're all going to have them, and we're going to keep having them like forever. So I think that's important to realize that too. Sometimes you get stuck in this place of trying to get in a place in life where, the thought that, maybe you could get to a point in life where you don't have those challenges and struggles. And I think that's just, you're setting yourself up for failure there for sure, because it's just guaranteed that we're going to have that. So how can we equip ourselves to handle them when they do come, which is what I hear you saying. So what's the big vision for you? What kind of impact do you want to make? Obviously you'll continue to move and do what you do inside of real estate, but also, as a coach with this book, what is the impact that you really want to make? What's the difference you want to make over the next 5 years as a coach and speaker and author?
Yeah, that's a great question. I want to empower people to not allow those little thoughts that we have stop us from the dreams that they have out there, and that the static noise around us, that you cut those out and focus and have full clarity and certainty of what that thing is that's pushing you, that drive that you really, that hunger for more that you're doing. And if you don't know how to do it, where to go to do it, or where to start, that you at least make steps to find where those are. I really have a passion to, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. Maybe you can help me.
I love it.
We can help each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really have a passion to build and make and help people become millionaires. And that's not because of money. It's because of creating our own path, creating our own destiny, creating our own life forward. And I truly believe that we're in the right moment, in the right country to make that happen. And we have, people like you and I, if we work together, we can really change what our economic state is for people like you and I. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. Yeah, that's a big vision, right? And it's important. Yeah, I love it. We need more people like yourself and myself out there to help others, because there was a point in my life where I was looking for that guidance, right? That path, and so kind of to pass it on as well. So this is a question I always love to ask. What's a turning point or a critical moment in your life? I think we all have them, and we all have multiple moments like this, but kind of defining moments, the fork in the road moment where you did take the path that you did because it has you where you are today, but you could have very easily, or maybe you even felt pulled to go the other direction, maybe the safer route, or what people think is the safe route, but you just knew deep inside of you that, man, you're getting pulled to the right. No one else was going that direction, but yet a championship leader, they have the courage to make those decisions in those moments. Is there a moment that you can think of, had you made the opposite decision, you could be somewhere very different in your life?
Yeah, I mean, the pivotal moment of where I decided to leave the corporate world,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it definitely was a hard decision. I kept going back and forth, but once I made the decision, I full throttle, right?
Yeah.
Full throttle,
You have
and
to, right? Yeah.
yeah, full throttle. And it's one of those things where it's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
There's definitely goods and bads, ups and downs, but it's also something that when you're able to, you're living a life, or you're living the life as you are driving it. Okay. And in a sense, you're the one in control. And it may, some people say, well, I need security, and that's fine. Right. But then there's people like you and I that we're like, well, I am my own security. I gamble on myself because I know that I can go and get this done. Whether it
Mm-hmm.
takes me a long time or not, I'm still going to get there because I have the drive to do it. I know how to handle those battle rounds,
Yeah.
and getting it done.
Yeah.
Even if, so one thing that I would say is, though, that if I could have done it different, I would have totally started off with a coach
Mm-hmm.
or a
Yeah.
mentor. I mean, I was
Yeah. I mean,
I was
explain
young
that.
and
Why?
fearless, right? I was
Yeah.
young and
Right.
fearless.
Yeah.
Young and fearless, where I'm like, I'm going to do this. I don't need it. I'm going to do this, and
Yeah.
then I went and I did it. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, yes, it was a success, but there's, looking back, goodness gracious, there's so many things that I did wrong,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's so many things that, well, if I would have known this back then,
Yeah.
holy moly, where would I be today, right?
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's
I
part
think
of the
that's,
coach, right? Is to help you
mm-hmm,
avoid some of those things that you don't have to go through, um, if you don't need to, right? I mean, there's
mm-hmm,
a lot of pitfalls that we can avoid with a coach to help us, because we can learn from their experiences and what they
mm-hmm.
know that we don't. So yeah, I love that. But you made it, you did it. And now you get to take that and help others through those similar decisions. I think there's a lot of people out there like the corporate job, comfortable, like kind of a security blanket. You're not fulfilled. You're really kind of dying inside, but at the same time, you're like, man, I don't, if I leave this, the pressure's on. And a lot of people are like, and they just get weighed down heavily by the fear of that thought and never make that leap. So it's awesome to hear stories like yourself, to give people encouragement. Like, all right, well, someone else has done this before and it actually worked out. And so if they're committed to really what they want, like, they can go do it too. Right.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. Well, I really appreciate you being here and taking some time. One last thing before we wrap this up is, what would be one or two things that you could leave with the listeners that if they implemented into their life today would help them move forward?
really be intentional every single day. Be
Mm-hmm.
intentional, be present on what you're doing. Start your mornings off with, okay, my intent today is this, and I am very certain of where I'm going for today, what my goal is for today, and how can I be and create that better version of me every single day. And I think just starting there will peel the onion to deeper thoughts,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It will definitely peel the onion to get you started thinking deeper on where it is that you're headed, where it is that you want to go. What is that thing that's inside of you that you hear it every day,
Yeah.
but are you listening, and are
Yeah.
you taking action? And I don't know if you meditate, but I meditate every
Every
morning.
day. Yeah. Every day.
Every morning and every night, and
Game
it's
changer.
part of certainty and clarity,
Mm-hmm.
and being present today. Yesterday's gone, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right. Yeah.
it's gone. Whatever happened yesterday, whoever did what, it's done. Let it be. And if we focus on truly letting things be, we can, and focus on the future and where you want, what that vision is. Focus on that every single day. You'll get there.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
Absolutely.
It works. It really
It
does work.
Yeah. Meditation is really, I mean, it's one of the things that has absolutely made a big impact on me for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. Yeah. Just get clear on what the intention is for your day. Like what's the priorities for you? Like, what are you going to do? It just gives you that clarity that you talked about in the very beginning. So, thank you so much, Yesenia, for being here today. Anything else, anything else we need to know? Again, I'll get everything. I like to put, how they can find you and follow you in the beginning, because not everybody always comes to the very last seconds of the show to hear it. And of course, we'll put it in the show notes. But yeah, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
You guys just go crush your life. Just don't let anybody stop you from what you really desire. Like Snoopy. I don't know if you've heard this, but the cartoon Snoopy, I think, yeah, he says, "Oh, we what is it? We only live once," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Snoopy replies back with, "No, we live every day."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I love that.
It's
That's
just,
powerful.
and it's so powerful because we do live every day.
Yeah.
It's our choice to make today the best.
Yeah, it's a new opportunity every day, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
So live it.
Yeah, live it. Yeah, and there's no guarantees. So, it could be over anytime now. So, yeah, quit waiting. I love it. Thank you so much for being here today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.